Right, very good evening, everybody. So, I have got a video and I'm going to play this video for you because I do know this much. There are lots of you that doubt what I'm trying to do. However, big investment is on the way. So let me just play this.
Things together because Trump's been hanging out with a bunch of tech bros like your Elons and your Zuckerbergs and Sam Altmans, etc. And essentially, it's a combination of how can these tech bros grift from the government and how can they get regulations loosened. Right now, Trump's in UK. He just tweeted this out and said they got some sort of tech prosperity deal. That's according to Trump. It says here, we have also signed a historic technology prosperity deal, one of a kind, to ensure our countries lead the next great technology revolution side by side. Okay. And then markets are up. You can see this. Trump is celebrating that. But what I'm telling you, though, is just be careful because a big part of why our markets are going up these days is that it's all based on the hype of the robots and the AI, etc. And you're seeing, say, one of those companies, Tesla, where people are literally leaving to go do something else because maybe the technology doesn't work as advertised. As it turns out, this is coming from Politico. They're saying, okay, what is Trump doing over there? What do the tech CEOs want? And this is what was cited. It says the deal includes new UK spending by NVIDIA and Microsoft and promises of an, quote, AI growth zone in economically troubled Northeast England. So the idea is, I guess, to boost the economy, we're going to build data centers and AI in a neighborhood where I guess where people don't have jobs, but we're making jobs to construct these things to ultimately replace yet more people so you don't have jobs. And it doesn't.
So, you can find this for yourself. You look for a guy called Chris Norland. He has 348,000 subscribers. Yeah. And the video, for all you doubters, and there's a lot of you, for all of you doubters, here is what it says in the title. Okay? 1 trillion bankruptcy for Musk and Trump. One day ago, again, the guy is called Chris Norland. And what I want to say to you all is this. You all think, yeah, it's crazy that Paul wants to do all of these plans, which include having 32K TV in the northeast of England. Yeah. Who wants to do dual energy again in the northeast of England, and the Geordie Nation.co.uk. Now you just heard it there, and if you still doubt, please check out Chris Norland, Nor. The screen's gone off. Norland, and you'll find he has 348,000 YouTube subscribers. Now, think about it. Yeah. My plan with 32K TV is twofold. It has to be twofold because there is broadcasting to the whole of the United Kingdom. Yeah. That means you have to take the camera and invent it. How do you do that? You do that through basically the brightest minds from our universities. Yeah? And you get them together like so, and you brainstorm between them to create the broadcast technology. And part two is brand new television sets that are affordable. Not something that is going to cost, as an example, 100 grand, 50 grand, etc. You make this affordable. Yeah. Now, with the other, which many of you laughed and rolled across the floor like hyenas, was dual energy, which is using solar and wind in both locations. One being where I am, and the other being in Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. So they are going to chuck trillions into AI and technology. Now, how many times have you heard me rattle on about this? And before Labour won the general election, I had contacted Ruth Edwards, the MP for where I live, and said, this is what I wanted to do here, but it was always in two locations. One being where I am, the other location up in the northeast of England. So, Chris is just one YouTube channel who is talking about this, but he's not the only current YouTube channel at 300 and odd thousand who is talking on this subject. There are others, and that's the reason why when the current president of the United States of America came to the UK, and how many said, oh, Paul's doing meme coins. It's going to be a rug pull in this, it's going to be that, and it's going to be the other. All absolute hearsay. Now, there's the proof. The proof, as my nana used to say, is in the pudding. Yeah? So, my message today to the current Minister, Liz Kendall, and the MP was this. When people turn around and say, how can you have such ideas? Don't know. It could be. It could be. Yeah? Now, as I will tell you all, yeah, I've done videos here on my channel, but I also do videos also on TikTok. Paul Gallant 3. Yeah? You look at that page on TikTok, go down, there's a handbag. It's called Showcase. Click on it and have a look at what is there. Shilajit, etc. Lion's mane and the hair lotion. Yeah? Because, let's be honest, I'm meant to be bald. The evidence doesn't say that. So, what I'm saying to you all is this. These things I've mentioned more times than I've got fingers. Yeah? And you've all laughed at and turned around and says he's crazy and he's all the rest of it. If the Americans, the likes of Nvidia, the likes of Microsoft, and others are going to be building and constructing, yeah, now you know. And what it was all about at the end of the day is simple. Jobs, pensions, bonuses, cryptocurrency, and a secure future. That's all that matters. It's not about having the biggest mansion or a fleet of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Zondas, Pagani Zondas, all these luxury items. I don't care. But what I will say to you is this. You've heard for yourself during this video proof I was right. And you want to know what the very biggest of the whole lot is? Well, I have an account, and that account is with Anthropic. Yeah? That account has files where I am discussing with them the biggest one of the entire lot. Data centers. Yeah? But a data center that is not an eyesore. It is not a gigantic mega factory the size, double or triple the size of Nissan in Sunderland. No. You can't see it. That is the beauty of it. And the way I designed it, Anthropic said to me, the price to get the data center up and running was £568,000. You think about that and you think about Universal Credit. Yeah. If I went to Universal Credit and says, I'm going to copy and paste what I've put here to you, the poor person who's looking at the journal entry would probably go and pass out. Yeah? Would you agree? But I saved that in Anthropic and it's not shared anywhere because the idea was actually born when I lived in West Denton. The video is on YouTube. Okay? I am living at West Denton. I am surrounded in the room by Forever Living products because at that time she had just bought into Forever Living products, which Pond and others said at multi-level marketing and a scam. Yeah, it's not. Because you don't buy something you don't want. You're not going to do that. And I would basically do the videos, and when I walked into work, Paul, do us a favour, come and have a word. That's what I would get. And I would say to the person I was speaking to, right, you want what? And they would turn around and say, oh, you did a video on this. This is what infuriated those high up within the company. And they didn't like it that in America, the United States of America, Arizona has a state that side and has a state that side. I don't know which side it was, but the Green Road and Forever Living were side by side. And what infuriated them more than anything else was the 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 supervisors, the trainers, the examiners, etc., weren't listening. The place where we were supposed to stick our little forms got so full it dropped off the wall, so they had to stick it back up, and it fell down again because more people were complaining, and that's when I said, okay, find out where the Green Road comes from, bosh, and I sent them a message to say, this is where I'm based, and your instruments are wrong. You can't get onto a vehicle, i.e. a bus, and the second you sit on that seat, it's red. It's impossible. Yeah? But, and here's the best bit. You could drive a bus, yeah, like most people did back then. It would be on the red all day. You're just driving around, dropping people off, picking people up, dropping people off, all that. And they would turn around at the beginning of the week, would start on a Sunday, and they come up and turn around and say, you've got to do better, David. You've got to do better, Peter, because you are at the bottom and we want you at the top. Well, I was at the top. I was in the top 3% because I wanted to stay green. I didn't care if I was stuck in traffic, if my vehicle broke down. I didn't care. I just did what it said on the tin. And that's why I got pure hate from him upstairs. He didn't survive, neither did I. Because he got shifted to an even smaller depot. Yeah. Now, getting back to that, the video with Chris, the next time you hear me talking about something and you go, yeah, remember this video. Yeah? Because if the Americans are coming to the northeast of England, and going to build, they've got the money. Yeah. The ideas, this is where the ideas are, which is where you can't steal them, because I give you just a smidge. This, yeah, I give you a taste. Oh, I like that. I'll buy it. Yeah. So there we go. And you've heard it from Chris. And if I wanted to, I could do a full live where there would be Chris and there would be another 5 or 6 larger YouTube channels telling you exactly the same thing. So you either believe or give your head a shake. You can't have it both ways. Yeah? So what I'm looking for after hearing that is this: 3,000 subscribers, 3,000 memberships, and if you look on my YouTube page, scroll to where my posts are. The links are all there. Yeah? And one thing I will say to you before I finish is this: I never set out to become a billionaire. No intention. I would rather be the person years and years down the line where various charities have the funding to operate for the next decade or more. That's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it because me Nana said to us, be wise when you've got money and make sure other people get the help they need. So that is ingrained right here. I never lost it. Same as where I grew up, Benwell, Critters Park. Most of you will know those areas and they need investment. I can only do the investment in those areas and other areas in Newcastle with your help. So, time on a Saturday night, time to like, subscribe, and sort your membership out, and let's grow. Okay? Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening at 10 past 10. It's been a mega long day. Sleep well. See you 11:30 in the morning. And thank you all, because you're all beautiful people. You just don't know it.